when you talk with someone and they use idioms, if the idiom is used correct, you will understand it. If it's not using correct, you will not understand the idiom.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is the second stream for idioms. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. Let's see if you guys can hear me. Test. Yeah, everything should work fine, so that's good. Okay, today we're going to talk about some idioms, and the important thing is with idioms, it's not that you need to learn them, it's just you need to recognize them. So in this stream we're going to discuss some idioms, and I'm going to show you some pictures this time. Last time I discussed some idioms with you guys and I didn't show you guys some pictures, but now I have some pictures and some idioms that I can explain to you guys how you can use it. So what we're going to do right now is we have 3 books for idioms, and I'm going to show you guys soon the PDF. If you want them, just go on the Discord. You can, when you sign up for the Discord, you can ask me directly. Do not worry if you cannot speak English, just ask me and I'll send it to you. So hopefully the sound is okay. Let me check the sound again just to be sure. Yeah, everything is okay. Yeah. The thing is, I'm a little bit worried about the sound, but yeah, we're gonna look at it. So let's go to the PDF, and yeah, this is the PDF. I want to try something and see if it's going to work. If I increase this, what will happen? Give me 1 second. Now it's much better. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, these are the 3 books that we are going to discuss. So we have NTC America Idioms Dictionary, and we have English for Everyone, English Idioms by DK. And this, I do not know the name, but it's an old book, but it's a really handy one because it has some idiom in it that that you can use and you see it daily. So what are idioms? Google it and you know what it is. It's just a way how you use it in different kind of situation to make it what you're trying to say really simple. So I think I also put in description I also put in definition in the description, so you can watch it in the description. So let's look at the first one. Last week we talked about A, so now we are not going to do A, we're gonna go do B. And we go all the way down to B. Wow. Normally I put this, but it's too much. Let's see. While we at it, if you're watching, tell me who you are and why do you want to learn English, and how is learning English working for you right now. And if you're serious about learning English, you see up there, you see the logo of English House. If you want to know what the possibilities are, how you can learn English, just talk to them, message them, send them a message on Zalo, ask them what the possibilities are, what the options are in order to learn English. If you're starting out, this is all new, just contact them and see how they can help you. So today we're going to discuss B, and next week C, and we're going to also talk about this. Normally if I see, give me 1 second. I see what happens. That's why I have it. Okay, no, it's better to have it like this. Okay, normally when I talk, I can see what you guys are seeing, but now I only see this. But yeah, I wanted you guys to choose a topic, but in this case, I'm gonna choose a topic. And based on the topic, we're going to talk about the idioms, and that's for this book. So let's choose friends and family. What kind of idiom can you use? And here we will continue with this part. So let's start with the first one, B. We're going to read some idioms, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you how I use it. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I do not know all the idioms. So let's look at it. B. A babe in the woods. a naive or innocent person, an inexperienced person. This is an interesting one. You see that a lot when people taking picture, because you see something like an innocent person in the picture, or inexperienced person in a picture, because that it's easy to get attention when you have that. It's something that catch the eye. So catch the eye is also an idiom. But a babe in the woods, you can say it like that. And Bill, example is Bill is a babe in the woods when it comes to dealing with plumbers. Yeah, I understand this. What he's saying is Bill is inexperienced, an inexperienced person. He doesn't have a lot of experience with plumbers. So yeah, that's how you can use it. A babe in the woods. Another example is, as a painter, Mary is fine, but she is a babe in the woods as a musician. So she's a good painter, but she is not a good musician. She is an inexperienced musician. So this is an interesting one, a babe in the woods. You can use it. I never use it, but it's easy to use if you look at this. Another one, back and fail, to act indecisively, to change one's direction rapidly, to reserve one's course. Original, well, give me a second. To automate a feeling the sales. Back and fail. I don't know how to use this one, so let's read the examples. The president spent most of his speech backing and failing on the question of taxation. I see. When you talk with someone, if you ask someone something and they do not give the answer, they go back and fail. That's how it goes. They do not tell you the decision. That's what they're saying here. Another example is the other candidate was backing and failing on every issue depending on who she was addressing. Yes, yeah, I understand this. You see that a lot of it politicians, when you ask them a specific question, it depends who you are, and sometimes they are not giving you a straight answer. You're not getting any yes or no. Most lawyer also does that. So it depends who they talk to. You also have that when salesperson. When they talk with a different person, they go back and failing. And it depends who they're talking to. If they're talking with a small person, they will talk differently than when a big person. So yeah, backing and failing. I never used that one, but I understand how I understand the definition here and why they are using it. Yeah. So another one, back and forth. Yeah, that's how you say it. Back and forth. Yeah, back and fail. That's interesting. Back and forth. I know this one. Back and forth, backwards and forwards. You go up and down the whole time. So first one way and then the another way. Compare this to and fro. I think this is a typo, but we do not know. The young man was packing back and forth in the hospital waiting room. Oh, the young man was pacing back and forward in the hospital room. So he was walking back and forward. So interesting. And let's see. I think you can see it right now. So back and forward. It's a new one. Another one is back down from someone or something and back off. Yeah. So sometimes you say that back off, so go away or do not come closer. So that's how you use it. Give me 1 second. I think this is better if I put this wide. Yeah, because then I can explain some things better. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, now you can see, man. So back down is when someone is trying to do something for you, against you, and you are mad, or you want to stop something. You can say back down or back off. So let's look at this example. Jane backed down from her position on a budget. So Jane has, let's say, an opinion about the budget, and she said, you know what, I'm not going to tell you more about my opinion. I'm gonna back down. So she will not argue anymore. That's what they're saying in this example. Another example is, it's probably better to back down from someone than to have an argument. They're correct. They are right about this. When you have an argument with someone and they do not listen or they are stubborn, you can back down. So you're going to, like, you know what, you know better, and walk on. So that's what they are saying here. And then another one is John agreed that it's probably better to back down than to risk getting shot. So when someone points a pistol at you and he say, you know what, I'm gonna walk away, and he's backing down than getting shot. So that's what they say in this example. Interesting. Bill doesn't like to back off from a fight. So if you have someone that really like to fight, doesn't give up, really like a challenge, he doesn't back off, so take a step back. And the last one, sometimes it's better to back off than to get hurt. That's correct. Sometimes when you are in a fight and you back off, you're not getting hurt. But if you go in a fight, you will get hurt. So that's what they're saying here. Interesting. We will come back soon to this book. Let's go to the next book. But there we have some pictures and it can help you guys. The topic here is friends and family. These are some idioms that you can use with friends and family. Here we have some pictures, and in this book we don't have some pictures. The reason why I'm doing this is because sometimes you have some people that understand what I'm saying, and sometimes you have people that understand what they are seeing. And what I noticed during class is that when people understand the idioms, it's easy for them to remember it. It's really difficult to just practice the idioms by yourself, because sometimes you do not understand it, or sometimes you do not know how to use them. So if I discuss an idiom that you understand here, put your own example in the comments. So create your own example and put it in a comment, and I will react on it, because I can hear the comments. I will look at the comment and tell you, yeah, that's how you can use it. Just remember to put the most important word in the comment. So let me give you an example. Harper regrets losing touch with all her old school friends, so no longer being in contact with her old school friend. So losing touch is, this is touch, but when you lose touch, you don't have a connection anymore. So you are losing touch with all her old friends. So you no longer have contact with our friends. So she's sad here. She look at the book. It can be a yearbook where you see all of pictures of our old friends, and here she regrets losing. So how can you make an example? You can be like, hey, I regret losing touch with my best friend. You understand? That's how you can use it. You put it in a comment. I will hear it here, and I will look at the comment and tell you, yes, that's how you use it. You understand? So that's an example that you can use. Losing touch is that you don't have contact anymore with some friends. Sometimes you have that. Sometimes you grow up in a different situation, or you move to another city and you don't have touch. Yeah, you are losing some touch with your closest friend or best friend, whatever. And sometimes you regret it, sometimes it's better for you. So it depends on the situation. So friendship, losing touch. Good one. So next one. I think Claire found a soulmate. Both she and Dan love reading. So a soulmate. What is a soulmate? The perfect person to be a friend or a partner. A soulmate. Most of the time you hear that in a song. I think you have a lot of songs that called soulmate, but you see that a lot. I found my soulmate, whatever. But this is a definition. If you want an example that you can use, for example, let's say we have soulmate. An example, let's say doing travel around Vietnam, I found my soulmate. That's how you can say that. And a perfect partner of the perfect person to be with. And it can be your best friend, whatever. So that's how you can use soulmate. Okay, the next one. I have kept in touch with Lynn since we left college 25 years ago. Continue to be in contact. Yeah. So you see here the difference. Here you lose. Let me see if I can mark it. Here you lose touch. Here you kept in touch. You see the difference? Here you lose touch, and here you kept in contact. So you kept in touch. So they're still calling with each other, they're texting with each other. So you see, continue to be in contact with. And that's the important, that's the definition. So if you look at it, how can you use it? I kept in touch with my friend in America for, let's say, 20 years. So this is how you use the word, the idiom kept in touch. Yeah. Here you see that even if you put your Facebook on, let's say, on English, or your social media on English, you see this a lot. Mutual friend. Yeah. Let's read it. Mary and Perry met through Isaac, a mutual friends of theirs. So we have these two person. This is Mary, this is Perry, and this is Isaac. He introduced them, and Isaac is a mutual friend. It's a friend of Mary, but it's also a friend of Perry. You understand that? So they both have a friend, and the name is Isaac. We call it a mutual friends. On Facebook, most of the time, when you're friends with when you're a friend with your friend, most time you can see mutual friends. A mutual friend is in this case Isaac. Yeah, you see that a lot, mutual friends, if you translate your Facebook in English. Yeah. So if you guys have questions about the idioms, just ask me in the comments. I will look at the comments. Let me see. Yeah, it's doing okay. That's good. Let's go back. Then we have the next idiom. Let's see. We're gonna go to the next book. Yeah, we were here last time. English idiom and expression for everyone. That's the name of the book, by the way. The next idiom: a 500-member strong club. A club with 500 members. This is an example. Any organization and any number could be used. So you can put here a number, a 10-member strong club, a 50-member strong club, a 55-member strong club, or a 3-member strong club. That's how you can use it. So this is something that you can use for different kind of numbers in order to make your point. Yeah, you're just saying a 50-member strong club means a club with 50 members, and he is 500 member strong club. So this is how we use it. And then we have a handful. This is something that you see a lot. People use that a lot. A handful. That means difficult to handle, not easy to control or to take care of. So sometimes you have some person that's really difficult to handle, or not easy to control, or not easy to take care of. You call it a handful. Like A is really a handful of, Pete is really a handful, Bob is really a handful. So really difficult person to handle. So that's a handful. And question what you say: would you please take care of my dog while I'm gone? So this is an example. No thanks. She is a handful. She is difficult to handle, or not easy to control, or not easy to take care of, because you need to take care of the dog. You see the word here, take care of. You can say, no, she is a handful. So then we have a hole in the head. Something that's definitely not needed. So when someone say I need it, like I need a hole in the head, they mean to say with a lot of emphasis, I don't need it. So a hole in the head means that a hole in the head, you don't need that. And when you are saying that, you're saying that I do not need it. So you're focusing on emphasize, or I do not need it. Example: do you want to buy my limousine? It's very cheap. Right now, I need a limousine like I need a hole in the head. So you say, right now, I need a limousine like I need a hole in the head. So you don't need it. You focus on like you don't need it. So this is an interesting one. I never used this one, but I can understand the hole in the head. Seems like a headshot, but we'll come that when we get to that. And then a leg to stand on. This is something that I use a lot. It's like something to support your argument. So a leg to stand on. For example, when someone argues something, you can say he doesn't have a leg to stand on. So, yeah, let's look at it. Definition: a supporting material. Material is important, so supporting material. Available influence or power. So let's look at some example. When someone says he doesn't have a leg to stand on, they mean something like he doesn't have enough data to support this theory. So yeah, leg to stand on, doesn't have enough data to support this theory. He doesn't have an alibi to help him in his defense. So he doesn't have a leg to stand on. So you see how they use it. This is so some meaning. Yeah. This is something you see a lot, especially when people argue with each other. They use this in order to express what they are trying to say. Then we have a little time in the desert. Yeah, I never use this one, so let's look what it said. Time spent away from others. When someone says she needs a little time in the desert, they mean something like we have seen too much of her. She should go away, disappear for a while. So yeah, I understand that. So in the desert, you do not see a lot of people, so you need to disappear for a while. And a little time means a while. See that here? A while. Interesting this one. Then we have a place of one's choosing. One decides where a place that one chooses. So a place of one's choosing, similarly a time of one's choosing, an activity of one's choosing. So this technically you choose a place. Yeah, I never use this one. Now I think about it, but yeah, it's just a place you choose. It depends on the situation, but a place one's choosing. I think you will see it in poetry, but I never use it a lot. But if you look at this, all this, there are a lot of idioms out here. Some of them you can use, some of them you cannot use. A handful you will see it a lot. On hoe and hat, not really. A leg to stand on, you will see it a lot. A little time in the desert, sometimes. A place of choosing, it depends the situation, but I never saw that a lot. So these are some idioms from the third book. Let's go back to the beginning. Let me look at the comments just to be sure. Yes, everything is working okay. That's good. So we're gonna go to to this one, so we can finish this. Back off, we talk about it. Back east, to or from the eastern United States, often the northern east or New England state. Back east. Yeah, I see. Yeah, this is used even by people who have never been in the east. Sally felt that she had to go back east for a few days. Tom went back to school east, but his brother attends school in the Midwest. So technically, when you talk about east, go back east. Back east to or from the eastern United States, often the northern east or New England state. So if you're in the United States, in the US, and you talk about back east, then you say it back east. Okay, I see. So you also have down south, out west, up north. So east, this west, I mean, east, north, and then south. Just like a compass. That's how you say it. So back east, down south, out west, up north. That's how you use it. Okay, interesting. It's really interesting to see. I never used that, back east. But okay, back in circulation. So you go up, around. So for things to be available to public again. Say especially of things that are said to circulate, such as money, library books, and magazine. So it goes back in the circulation. Let's see. I have here that gold coins are back in circulation in Europe. Yeah, gold coins. So, okay. I would like to read War and Peace. It's back in circulation or still check out. So when you're in a process, you come back in the process, so back in the circulation. For a person to be socially active again, dating again after divorce of breaking up with one's lover. So if you break up with someone, yes, there's a divorce, you go back to dating. That's back in circulation. Now that Bill is a free man, he's back in circulation. So you see that here. Bill is, let's say, not in a relationship anymore, or Bill is divorced. He's back in circulation, so he's back and looking for a partner. And then we have Tom was in a hospital for a month, but now he's back in circulation. So if you are in a hospital for a month and you get better and you get out, you get back in the circulation, like back to work, back to doing what you're doing. So we call that back into circulation. So interesting one. You see that, let's see, back in circulation, I would think you will see that in articles in the BBC or CNN when you read it. Some journalists will talk about back in circulation, but it depends what you're reading. And like we said, we had, where was it? We had back down and back off. So you see, back down, back off is the same. You take a step back and you do not do anything, so back down. So next one we have back off the beyond. It is something interesting. It's different. So we have here back off the beyond. It's something different. The most remote place, somewhere very remote. Remote means that there's no people out there. No people. It's like an island. There's no people there. So John hardly ever comes to the city. He lives at the back of beyond. So John lives in the rural area. So he never comes to the city. He lives in an area where there's almost no people. You can think about outside the city, or in the mountains, can be everywhere, but he's not in a city where there's a lot of people. Another example is Mary likes lively entertainment, but her husband likes to vacation in the back of the beyond. So Mary really like to go to lively entertainment. It can be event festival, but her husband like to go on vacation in rural area, like in the mountain or whatever, where there's almost nobody. So you call that back of the beyond. Interesting one. And then we have back order. Back order something for merchants, yes. To order something that is not in stock and then make delivery to the customer when the goods come available. The merchant may hold your money until the order is filled. Technically, if you buy let's say in a PlayStation or an Xbox, and there's a new game coming out, let's say in 2 weeks, you can do a back order. So you will pay for the game, or you pay half of the price, and when the game is out, you're the first one that will get a copy, and you call that back order. So let's see some example here. The store didn't have the replacement part for my vacuum cleaner, so the manager back ordered it for me. So they didn't have it, so I pay for it, and they order it for me, so next time when I come, I will get it. So this is a back order. The shop had to back order some of the items on my list. So I have a list of a lot of items. I bring it to the shop, and some of them they do have, some of them they don't have, and then you call it back order. So interesting. And then we have back out of something. Back out of something, to withdraw from something you have agreed to do, to break an agreement. I see that a lot when I talk with customers of clients. They sometimes agree on something, but then they will like, you know what, I'm going to back off. So they will be like, hey, I'm not going to do that anymore. And the consequence, what are the consequences that they're asking? So some example, the buyer tried to back out of a sales, but the seller wouldn't permit it. So someone buys something, but the buyer will be like, hey, I don't want it anymore. And the seller will be like, yeah, but you need to pay for it. Understand that? So you cannot back off an agreement. So another example is, please don't back off our date Oh yeah. Example is that you are on a date, or you're going on a date, and someone say, "Hey, you know what? I cannot make it today because I have to do something else," and the other person will say, "Please don't back off. Back. Please don't back out of our date." Last one. Mary backed out at the last minute. So she has appointment and she back out at the last minute. She be like, "Hey, you know what? I cannot make it. So sorry about that." She back out. So that's about it for the B part. Interesting. So this book you can download it and read the idioms, and you have a lot of examples here. If you don't understand, you can ask me on a Discord. Interesting. You do not have to learn it, but if you see it once, you will remember it. But it's important that you understand what the idioms are. So let's look at the last part of this. So we talk about these 4 things, and let's see. So like I said, if you are watching this and you see an idiom and you understand the idiom, put another example in the comments. I will react on it and I'll tell you what if it's correct or not. So just try it. So you can only do it with this part. You don't have to do it with this part because this is difficult. So we're gonna do it with this part. So we have Raymond and Tara get on. Oh, I see. Raymond and Tara get on like a house on fire. They are always talking and laughing. I understand this one. So get on like a house of fire. So let's say we have a house here, and it's on fire. That's what they're saying. Get the definition is get along extremely well, have a very good relationship. You do not see a lot of people use this like get on like a house of fire. They just say they have a good relationship or they can get along well. But it's good to know when you see this one, so you don't have to learn this one. It's not something that you see often. So let me give you an example. 2 people get along really well. They get along like a house on fire. You understand? So that's one example. Those people are getting along really well. And I never used this one really. But it's interesting. But yeah, let's go to the next one. Mia and I have drifted apart since she left our core and started boxing again. Drifted apart. What you need to see is drifted means the same as 2 people are now together, but now they are not together. So they drifted apart. That's how you need to see it. So they grow out of drifted apart. That's not a word for that. No, I don't think so. But slowly become less friendly or close to each other. So they are not close to each other anymore. Now they are far apart from each other. So an example is you and your childhood friend drifted apart since you guys were at the high school of primarily school. Yeah, that's how you can say that, primary school. So you and your childhood friend drifted apart since 10 years ago. That's also how you can say that. So that's another example how you can use this. So then we have now 4 more to go. So if you understand this, put in a comment an example. I will look at it and tell you what I think about it. Then we have, I struck up a friendship with Pete while we were in cooking class last year. So, struck up a friendship with, I understand this, but if you want to keep it simple, you do not use this. You just say I became friends with him when we were in the cooking class last year. So I struck up a friendship with Pete. Yeah. This you do not use it a lot, but if you know it and you see it, you will understand it. So you became friend with Pete while you were in cooking class, or yoga class or fitness class, doesn't matter, but struck up with a friendship. Interesting one. I never used this one, but I will recognize it when I read it. There are a lot of idioms out there that I never use daily or monthly, but when I read the text, I understand what they are saying because I do not only focus on the idiom, but I also focus on the other parts of the text, and that makes me to understand the text really easy. It also depends on a situation. When you talk with someone and they use idioms, if the idiom is used correct, you will understand it. If it's not using correct, you will not understand the idiom. So it also depends on the situation. So other one is, my wife and I hit off immediately when we first met at a country music concert. So hit off, became friends very quickly. Hit off immediately. So hit off immediately is another word for become friends. Became friends very quickly. Here you need to watch out how you use this, because hit off also has another meaning, but I don't think this book has the meaning. But in this case, in this situation, you can use hit off immediately when we first met at the country music concert. So then is the meaning became friends very quickly. I cannot give you another example of hit off, but there's another idiom that also use hit off, but depends on the situation again. Here, last one. Yeah. Donna was a fair weather friend. She wouldn't help when my house flooded. I see. A fair weather friend. And yeah, you see here, this idiom, you use it in this situation. Yeah. And here the definition is, a friend would desert you when you have difficulties. So when it's difficult for you, friends will be like, you know what? I don't care. You figure it out. And that's what she is doing here. Donna was a fair weather friend, so someone that deserts you. Yeah, interesting. Never use this one, a fair weather friend, but if I read this, I will understand it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the last one. Sai and I don't know how to pronounce this, but okay, let's say Sai and I got off on the wrong foot. This is something you see a lot. When you watch English movie, most of the time at the beginning of a story, they will be like, we got off on the wrong foot, let's start again. And here, C and I got off on the wrong foot on our date. He was an hour late and forgot my name. Wow, that's something you shouldn't do. But an hour late and forgot my name. Started our relationship badly. So you start badly and later it can become good, or you can end it. So yeah, so when you look at this, these are the idioms for friends and family. Losing touch, soulmate, mutual friends, kept in contact, get on like in house of fire, drift apart, struck up a friendship with, hit off, a fair weather friend, got off on the wrong foot. This is something that you see a lot. Hit off, watch out for it, because it can also have different meaning. Drifted apart, and something that you see a lot. A mutual friend also, losing touch, kept in touch with, a soulmate. So these are about the idioms for this book, and this book we already discussed this part. And the thing is, idioms, do not try to learn them, just try to understand them. When you see them again, you will know what it is. If someone uses an idiom correct in the give me 1 second. Yeah, if someone uses an idiom correct in a specific situation, it's easy for you to understand them idiom. If they do not use it correct, it's going to be difficult. You do not need to learn the idioms. What you need to do is just read them, understand them, and move on. Because next time when you read something and you see the idiom, you will understand it. You will recognize the idiom. If you do not understand some idiom, you can look them up. When you look them up, you will find the meaning and some example. So you see this documents that I talked to you about. This document, you can download it on the Discord. There's a link in the description. Go in the Discord, download it, and try to practice it. So if you have a question about the idioms or anything related to learning English, feel free to contact the English House. They were happy to help you. If you have other question about learning English, feel free to put it in a comment. I will see what I can do for you, and I will see you in the next stream.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be